evening and thank you for watching Ignite Elections Update. I am Ramona Luthi and tonight we're looking at the projected distribution of seats in Guyana's National Assembly using the figures made available by the Guyana Elections Commission. Now, Guyana's electoral system is based on proportional representation. What this means is that the number of seats a party wins in Parliament depends on the proportion of the total number of votes it receives. To make this work, Guyana uses what is called the Hare quota. This formula ensures that larger parties get seats in proportion to their national support. Smaller parties also have a fair chance of gaining seats once they collect enough votes. And most importantly, the allocation is transparent, mathematical, and impartial, rather than negotiated or decided by majority rule alone. In short, the Hare quota makes sure that every vote counts as equally as possible and that the distribution of seats mirrors the will of the electorate. So in this segment of Ignite Elections Update, we'll use the Hare quota to see how the 65 seats in our National Assembly are expected to be divided among the political parties based on the valid votes cast. Think of this process like cutting a cake into 65 equal slices. Each slice represents one seat. The formula helps us decide how many slices each party gets, and in the end, we'll also see how these seats are likely to be filled through both the national top-up list and the 10 geographical constituencies. First, let's look at the total valid votes declared by the returning officers up to the time of this report. APNU has accumulated a total of 77,998 votes. The AFC has accumulated 3,610 votes. ALP, 969 votes. FGM, 4,326 votes. The PPPC has accumulated a total of 242,498 votes. And WIN has accumulated 109,066 votes. That gives us a grand total of 438,467 valid votes cast. Now, the Hare quota is calculated by dividing the total votes by the number of parliamentary seats. In this case, it'll be 438,467 divided by 65, giving us a total of 6,745. So in simple terms, a party needs 6,745 votes to win one seat. Again, think of cutting that large cake into 65 equal slices. Each slice represents one seat in the assembly and costs 6,745 votes. Next, we divide each party's votes by the quota to see how many full seats they get right away. We have already established that one seat equals 6,745 votes. So let's start with APNU. They have again a total of 77,998 votes. If we're to divide that by 6,745 votes, which is equivalent to one seat, as we mentioned earlier, we'll get 11 seats. They have leftover votes, so those will be a remainder of 4,803. Let's put that in the corner and we'll come back to that. AFC, they had a total of, or have a total of 3,610 votes. If we're to divide this by 6,745 votes, it'll be 0. The remainder remains the same, 3,610 votes. ALP, they have 969 votes. We're to divide that by 6,745, again we'll get 0. Their remainder remains 969 votes. FGM, they had 4,326 votes. If we're to divide that by 6,745, again 0 seats. Remainder, 4,326. PPPC, with their total of 242,498 votes, we're dividing that by 6,745. This will be equivalent to 35 seats for them, with a remainder of 6,423. In the case of WIN, their total was 109,066 votes. Divide that by 6,745. That will be equivalent to 16 seats with a remainder of 1,166 votes. So far, that gives us 62 seats. Now, here's where the formula gets more interesting. Those remaining 3 seats, because of course we need 65 seats for the National Assembly, the 3 seats are awarded to the parties with the largest remainders. Those are the leftover votes that weren't enough to form a full seat. Think of it as saying you didn't quite get a full slice of the cake, but since you came closest, you get the extra piece. Now, let's look at the party remainders. Remember those numbers we put aside? Let's look at them again. The parties with the largest remainders get the extra seats. The remainders thus far are, as we mentioned, APNU with 4,803, FGM 4,326, PPPC 6,423, AFC 3,610, WIN 1,166, and ALP 969. Based on these figures, the top 3 parties to take the remaining 3 seats are APNU, FGM, and the PPPC. Each of them gets 1 extra seat. So the total distribution is APNU 12 seats, FGM 1 seat, PPPC 36 seats, and WIN 16 seats. Now, winning seats is one thing, but let's talk about how they're filled. Guyana uses a mixed system. Out of the 65 seats, 25 come from the 10 geographical constituencies, while the remaining 40 are from the national top-up list. So let's see how the seats are likely to be allocated. In District 1, they have 2 geographical constituency seats. One goes to WIN, one goes to PPP. District 2, they have 2 seats as well. One goes to PPPC, one goes to WIN. District 3, they have 3 seats to allocate. 2 goes to the PPPC, 1 goes to WIN. District 4, with 7 seats to allocate as at this time. This means 2 seats goes to APNU, 3 seats go to the PPPC, WIN also gets 2 seats. District 5, they have 2 seats to allocate. 1 would go to the APNU and the other would go to the PPPC. District 6, with 3 seats to allocate, 2 being the PPPC, 1 to WIN. District 7, 2 seats, 1 goes to the PPPC, 1 goes to WIN. District 8, 1 seat. That seat goes to the PPPC. District 9, with 1 seat going to the PPPC. And District 10, 2 seats, 1 going to APNU, the other to WIN. This means that APNU will fill 4 of its 12 seats from the relevant geographical lists, while the other 8 parliamentarians will come from the national top-up list. The PPPC will fill 13 of its 36 seats from the geographical constituency lists and 23 from the national top-up list. WIN will fill 8 seats from the geographical constituency list and 8 from the national top-up list, while FGM will fill its 1 seat from the national top-up list. So in summary, the Hare formula helps us project how votes translate into parliamentary seats, ensuring proportional representation. Larger parties secure the majority, while smaller ones may still gain a foothold or if their remainders are high enough. These projections give us a clear picture of how Guyana's National Assembly could look once the results are finalized. Again, these are, of course, projections based on the election returns. The official allocation of seats rests with GCOM once the final results are certified. What this exercise shows us is how every vote adds up and how even a small remainder can make the difference in winning a seat in Parliament. I'm Ramona Luthi, and this has been your Ignite Elections Update.